Hi tribe, so I've just made a video about EFT points, and this one is going to be more focused on a specific exercise, one that you could go back to at any point. Put it in the units so that you can just click on it and just go to it at any point just to refresh. You could do this once, 10 times a day, you could do it like every day, you could do it once a week, whatever. It's up to you, because the video is going to be here and it's just for you guys. So let me see, I haven't actually planned the process, so this is the way I like to use it. Just starting on the side of the hand, as you've learned from the previous videos. Just start tapping on the side of the hand. I want you to acknowledge right now where you're feeling, what you're feeling. Is it some kind of stress in the body, perhaps? And if there is no stress, you can even tap along anyway, because it's just going to help you feel even more relaxed. But if there's some kind of stress, and I can most guarantee there is, because us humans, we do hold a fair amount of stress in our bodies, because we have this really old school fight or flight system going on, and tapping is going to calm the amygdala, our fight or flight response, and it's very active to keep us safe. But this day and age, we don't need to stay as safe as we once did back in the caveman times. But the connection between being chased by a lion and just being a bit angry about our boss, or a bit nervous about having a meeting at work, our brain doesn't know the difference, which is pretty funny, but actually it's a true difficulty that we go through. So I'm going to assume that there's some kind of stress in the body right now. And all I want you to do is acknowledge, how strong is that feeling out of 10? 10 is the most stressed, 0 is complete peace. You're lying on a beach, complete and utter peace. Maybe it's a 5, just acknowledge. Now I want you to notice, where in the body do you feel this? Maybe it's your stomach, maybe it's your chest, maybe it's your throat or your head. Just notice where that is. Now just tune in. Does it have a shape? If it's in your stomach, maybe it's a circle, maybe it's a triangle, maybe it's a rectangle, or even like a crazy star or a shape or an animal shaped or something. Maybe it has no shape. There are no right or wrongs. Just notice. Then just notice, what colour is it? Maybe there's a colour. Just go to the eyebrow point. Just focusing on that feeling. Then to the side of the eye. Just noticing the colour, the shape. Now perhaps just noticing, is there an emotional word that links with this feeling? Maybe it's helplessness, maybe it's worry, maybe it's frustration, maybe it's anger. It's all okay. Maybe there's more than one. Just acknowledge that as well. Now we're painting more of a picture about what's going on under the eye now. Just now feel, is this feeling heavy or is it light? Now under the nose. Now you've got a shape, you've got a colour, you've got an emotion attached, you've got a weight. Is it heavy or is it light? Now we're under the nose right now. Now just go onto the chin. Now perhaps, is it hollow? Is it solid? onto the collarbone. Just tapping on the collarbone. Now you've got a shape, and it's quite normal if it's changed right now. Maybe it's changed shape, just notice that. Maybe the emotion's changed. If you're yawning, perhaps that's a good sign. If you have little tears coming down your face from your eyes, it's not necessarily just crying from an emotional standpoint, but there's some kind of release from the system. That's quite normal. So you may have a shape, you may have a colour, you may have an emotional word attached. It may be light or heavy, maybe it's hollow or solid. And now under the arm. Just notice how it may have changed, just notice if it's still there. Perhaps it's gotten a little bit more strong, maybe it feels a little worse right now. But that's okay, that will pass. Just keep tapping, now on top of the head. This really allows us to be present by acknowledging these feelings, just being present with the feeling, being present, acknowledging. You know, in the Abra technique, acknowledgement is the first A. This really allows us to acknowledge these feelings, acknowledge what's going on, whilst calming the system. It makes it a lot easier to observe these feelings than when we're in the stressed state. It's a lot harder, should I say, to acknowledge a stressful situation, because we don't want to be there when we're stressed, of course. You know, what do we want to do? What do we normally revert to? We go to eating unhealthy foods perhaps, or drinking and smoking, or just, you know, binge watching things, or eating ice cream, whatever it might be. There are other things, of course, but whatever it might be, that's often our way of not acknowledging these situations because it's too painful. And that's what I love about this tapping, is that it allows us to go there. I hope you're following along. I was kind of going on automatic right there, so now I'm under the eye. It allows us to feel these thoughts whilst calming the system at the same time. Do you know what the brain does then? The brain gets these two signals. I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed. And then it's also getting this tapping. Hey, but if you're stressed, if you're being chased by a lion, or if this stress is real true right now, then if you're in real danger, then hold on. Surely you wouldn't be tapping, you wouldn't be meditating, you wouldn't be chilling out, you wouldn't be tapping on your face, calming your system. So maybe that thing's not real, maybe that thing's in the past, maybe that's not such a threat right now, and it calms the system. So under the nose. Just tune back into the feeling now. Has it changed? What's the emotion now? Just tune back in, maybe there's a different emotion. And just for the sake of this exercise, I'm just going to assume that something shifted, that perhaps the helplessness or the frustration has moved. And if the frustration has moved, then just like the Abra technique, that's why I love the Abra technique so much, is because it follows these similar guidelines with how I work and how EFT often works. And all these techniques just work so beautifully in sync together that not one's better than the other necessarily. It's whatever works for you at the time. So now under the arm and on top of the head. Right, just take a deep breath right now. And tune back in. You've had your number from before. What was that number before? What is that number now? Has it dropped? And if it stayed the same, perhaps there's something else going on. Perhaps there's a different angle to be taken. But just notice, as the feeling changed, as the colour changed, as the shape, as the weight changed, as it moved, as it turned from a solid ball into a cloud. Who knows? This sort of thing happens. I'm just going to do one more round now. This next round, is going to be changing. Just like in the Abra technique, we're going to change the old feeling of frustration, helplessness, anger, whatever it might be. We're going to bring in a new thing. So I want you to choose something that you would like instead. What would you like instead? Maybe I choose to feel peace. I choose to feel I have a super memory. I choose to feel super. Whatever it is for you, you choose. I want you to imagine you're filling in that void. Whatever's shifted from wherever it was, I'm assuming it's in the stomach right now, because that's often where my feeling is. But if it's in the chest, whatever's for you, just imagine it's going in there. So side of the hand. Just bringing in this peace. Just in your own head, you can say it out loud. You know, I'm choosing peace instead. Or I'm choosing to feel happy and calm instead. Maybe just stay on one word, it keeps it simple. So I choose to feel this feeling instead. Eyebrow. And I choose to feel this feeling. I choose to feel this feeling. You change this feeling with your word and echo back with me. I choose to feel this feeling. I choose to feel calm. I choose to feel peaceful. I choose to feel peaceful. Let's stay with peaceful right now, just for the sake of this. I choose to feel peaceful. I choose to feel peaceful now. Under the arm, I choose to feel peaceful now. Top of the head, I feel peaceful now. Now, let's do one more round. I feel peaceful now. 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 And I'm assuming that you've got the points now and we're just going with the flow. So I'm not saying them out loud anymore. The collarbone. I feel peaceful now. Under the arm, I feel peaceful now. Top of the head, I feel peaceful now. Now just take a deep breath. Now tune back in. Think about where you were before. What was the number? How were you feeling? Maybe write it down, maybe note it in your notepad. Feel free to share in the comments what happened as well. You know, I started at an 8 and I dropped to a 2, or I felt like angry and now I feel really calm, and this really works, this helps. Whatever it is, like if we can get more and more people working through some of these techniques, if they are working for people in the tribe, anyone that might have missed the post, if we can get more and more people, then you know, perhaps we can get through this course even faster, even more super, you know. So I'm just hoping it helps. I actually know that Jim Quick is a fan of EFT himself. I've heard him speak about it briefly on stage, and I've seen an interview with him and Nick Ortner, who does Tapping Solution. He's written a book about EFT and tapping. He's friends with Jim Quick, and so I know Jim Quick's used this for stage fright, or should I say public speaking. So it's really nice to know and hear that he was interested in the subject as well, because I love it. I think it's absolutely amazing. I really hope it benefits you too. Again, tag me if you have any questions. Please comment below. Let's open up the floor to see our ahas about this. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying Super Brain, and yes, be super.